How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are okay. Happy Sunday, everybody. I'm back again with another live stream. So please do me a favor. If you join the chat, make sure to hit the like button and let me know where you're tuning in from, and I will really appreciate it. Look, I apologize in advance that I got a bunch of crap in the back seat up there so you guys can see. You know what? Let me park somewhere real quick, and then I'm going to remove this for the sake of the video because I care so much about you guys that I want to make sure you have the best experience ever. So I'm gonna move that out of the way. That's just my work gear I bought last time I went shopping and stuff. So yeah, now we're looking good. I just saw somebody here tuning in the live chat. Yo, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man? Do me a favor, hit that like button. What's going on? Where you tuning in from? Let your boy know in the comment section down below, and I will really appreciate it. So you guys, listen, man. I always like tuning in to chat with y'all on matters that impact our communities, impact our people, and I have a passion to talk about what I think it's going to benefit us as Congolese and as Africans, right? Because oftentimes we've been told so many lies that now we have grown, we are able to do our own research, we're intelligent enough to make our personal observation and come to a conclusion on certain things, right? So why not use our critical thinkings when it comes down to the issues that are impacting our economically, and also raise awareness among other Africans or Congolese in the diaspora space to join the conversation and address the issues that are more critical to us all, right? So if that sounds like something you guys are more interested in, I would highly encourage you to stick around and join the chat, and also share your opinion in the comment section down below. All right. So I like these type of live stream because I personally learn a lot from you guys in the comment section. A lot of the things that are said in the comment sections are like eye openings to me. Sometimes I don't think about these things, and that's why I find it so important to, discuss these issues and talk about it more in depth so we could have a perspective where we see, we change the way we do things, all right? Because this thing is beeping, so it's annoying the shit out of me. I just have to wear a seatbelt. The reason I didn't wear it because it was interfering with the microphone. Well, I hope you guys still can hear me well with the microphone and stuff. But yeah, so you guys, please, I'm gonna hang out here for a minute while some of you join the chat. And also, again, do me a favor, make sure you let me know where you're tuning in from. And I already see a couple of people are starting to join the chat. Please do me a favor, hit that like button. I'm seeing some of you are still watching, but I can only see 0. There is nothing. Come on, man. YouTube algorithm, it only works when people are in the like button, and that lets YouTube knows that a lot of people, and let YouTube know that people are interested in this, and they're going to send it to more people. All right. So there's no reason for you not to hit the like button because it's free. It doesn't cost you any money to hit the like button. That just helps my channel to have more exposure. So do me a solid, please hit that like button, and do me a favor, let me know where you're joining from, and I will really, really appreciate it. So it's almost 5 minutes in since the live stream started. I'm just gonna give it a couple of more minutes before we get started on this juicy topic. I cannot wait to tell you what I think about this. And this conversation is very open to everybody out there. All right. So, but in meantime, while we wait for other people to join, so you guys let me know how was your weekend. What did you do for the weekend? I know today's the 29th of October. Tomorrow is the 30th. So for those of you that live either in America or any of the Western countries, well, I don't know like how many like Western countries out there they celebrate Halloween. So let me know in the comment section where you're watching from and then whether Halloween is celebrated there. Oh, here in America is a big thing. So like there are people throwing Halloween parties already. Yesterday I was coming home from work and it was like Halloween outfit all over the city. Like people were dressed in like traditional way to like honor Halloween. So I don't know like the history behind Halloween. I might have like learned something about it, but I really was never interested to kind of like memorize everything about Halloween. But it seems to me more like it's like a evil type holiday or celebration. I don't know. So you guys let me know if you care about Halloween. I don't even buy anything. I don't even throw anything. I don't even go to a party if I'm invited for that matter. So that's really nothing that interests me. But what interests me, however, is to have conversations like this about Africa, about Congo, and yeah. So again, I'm gonna say one more time, y'all. Please let me know in the comments. Please do me a solid. Hit the like button. Hit the like button as a join in chat and let me know where you're tuning in from. Hit the like button. So I don't see the reason why you're gonna be here if you don't want to hit the like button. So I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. You ain't trying to help me out. I don't want you in my channel. It's just that simple. All right, so let's get into it. All right, guys. So I've been giving myself a lot of thought lately on agriculture, farming, and mining in Congo. So should the Democratic Republic of Congo focus or invest more in mining, or they should invest more in agriculture? So let me know what your answer. Give me your answers in the comment section down below. I'm very curious. So if you ask me, I'm gonna tell you this. Both is very important, but there is a priority. In my opinion, mining in Congo has never benefited the Congolese people since the activity started. However long ago it was, it has never benefited the African population. It has never benefited the Congolese people. In contrast, mining has created more problems and drama in the eastern region of Congo. If Congo is constantly under war, especially in the east side of the country, it's because of the resources that we got going on out there. All of this mining activities happening, whether it is legal or illegal, is the very reason why Congo is being maintained unstable in the eastern region at least. And the people that benefit more on the that profits more from this minings are the elites. I'm talking about the multinational businesses, whether it's like giant tech companies who do business in the east of Congo. These people, they benefit off of the sorrow and the massacre of Eastern Congolese to fill up their coffers, right? And the Congolese government can also take a stand and say that enough is enough. Our people have suffered for a very long time, but they are always the ones to they're still in poverty when you have all this, other expatriates, elites benefiting from this. Anybody can enter the Congo, create the rebel groups, and the next thing you know, they are multimillionaires and even billionaires, right? Whereas you have Congo who have millions upon millions of arable lands that are unexploited, and we have untapped natural resources, untapped, empty lands who are just sitting there waiting to be exploited. But the Congolese governments, they do not have the system in place to actually exploit to an extent that it deserves to be exploited, so that they can address, like, for instance, like food insecurity. Because a lot of peasants that live in those areas are mining workers. They don't have, like, their children don't even have access to education. They wake up every morning, go to these mining sites, put in 16 to like 18 hours work, and then they come home with less than $1, and they do it over and over again. Whereas out here in the West, we see people driving Tesla, and they're revolutionizing the electric vehicle now. But the people who are suffering the most to make this product available on the market, that build these electric vehicles, are not even looked at like that, are not even taken care of. Unfortunately, that's the kind of world we live in. And we see our politicians battling each other for seats in the Congress or in the Senate, just so that they take advantage of this same rhetorical cycle, who have created one of the most brutal humanitarian crisis in the world. People are turning their eyes to Israel. People are turning their eyes to Ukraine. But you have the Democratic Republic of Congo, who's been constantly under military attacks, under assault all the time. Women get raped every minute. Children get sent to mining sites to, work, across the globe, and buying property, millions, and driving sport cars and things. But again, now the Congolese population, including those that putting hours of overtime working in his mining sites, they're not even benefiting from any of this. When we have so many empty lands, and having one of the richest soil where you can grow basically almost anything, but this sector is left unattended, and the government does not even care about doing anything to address this issue, where we have so many investors out there with whatever is going on around the world, with all of these wars that are taking place, which is creating more food crisis around the world, where people need more food. But we have the Democratic Republic of Congo, who has the potential to feed the entire continent of Africa if we had a government who was responsible enough to put the tools and the means into place, and just promote agriculture to an extent where investor will be more attracted to the market and come out, invest, or even create banking institutions or financial institutions that will assist local small farmers, or even local farmers who are willing to exploit, so that way we could have Congolese agriculture or farmers exporting, um, exporting agricultural products throughout the continent of Africa or even throughout the world. Like Congo neighbors, there's like 9 African countries that neighbor Congo. And this can benefit some of these countries as well. We have Rwanda. I'll give one example of Rwanda, who was the most belligerent neighbor, who never sleep when Congo, like who does not want stability in the region, because their politicians benefit from that, right? And every time when I criticize the Kigali's, Rwanda government, that does not have anything to do with Rwandan people, because I know they do not control their government. Their government acts on behalf of global elites who put them in power to begin with, who assisted them into toppling the president Habyarimana, who was before Paul Kagame, and then the genocide occurred. But that's a story for another day. I do not know anything about geopolitics like that, but I'm just speaking my mind based off of the things that I've learned throughout the years, right? So now they know that Congo has massive lands filled with natural resources, and they want a piece of that. How do they get it? They go negotiate with outside forces and be like, hey, if you, create an environment where we have the most power to attack these people without any sort of backlash or anything, we will be able to help you come in and do whatever it is that you want to do. Unfortunately, Africans are pinned against Africans to benefit other group of people, and that's exactly what happens. So now I remember being in high school and talking about geography and like learning all the natural resources that we have in geography class, right? And the amount of resources that we have, it was almost mind-boggling that Congo is not even on the map, or not even on the way of being like a developing country. We are one of the most marginalized people in the continent of Africa, and yet we have the most natural resources in the entire continent, or even in the entire world. But people do not care so much about agriculture because people want to make quick money. They feel that the amount of work that goes into farming or agriculture, they don't want to deal with that. They do not want to have anything to do with it. But I'll tell you one thing. There are people who are so interested in farming, who have the strength and are motivated to exploit our soil and bring more people, finish the food insecurity or crisis that we got going on in certain part of the country. But of course they won't give them the money, because these people, I don't know, like the size of their brain, but we're talking about something that would benefit us like for generations, but they don't give a crap about any of that stuff. All right guys, so I've been talking while I'm driving and trying to get my thought together. It's kind of hard, but I'm gonna pull up somewhere up here so you guys and I can have this conversation. Then I'll be on my way, because I'm going to a friend for a couple of hours. Tomorrow is work, but I figured since I had this going on for quite a bit, I had planned that I would go live today so you and I can have a discussion about this and go from there. And here I am. I'm doing exactly what I promised myself, and I'm very happy about it. Now let me see. So, all right. So I can see myself very clearly, which means that you could probably see me too. So let me pop this out. All right. It's finally out of the way. Feels great. All right. Let me grab this comment down here real quick and see what was said. All right. Hey, brother from North Carolina. We'll be in South Carolina close to. All right. Business and relaxing time. Oh, good for you, brother. We all need some relaxing time because how hard we work. And sometimes you need that time alone so you have, time to heal yourself, mentally and physically too. It's very, very important. It's very necessary that you do all of that. So I highly encourage it. Hi, Merve. What is the best way to reach you? I have a few questions regarding my lands back home. Oh, like if you just go to my channel, my homepage, my email address is on there. That is the best way to reach me. So you can shoot me an email. I'll get in touch with you. If I do not respond promptly, it's probably because I'm busy with work, but I try my best to respond as quickly as possible because I constantly check my emails because I also have other people that reach out to me just via email. So I'm very, very quick on email. So that would be the best way to reach out to me. And I'll be very, very glad to answer any questions you may have in the best of my ability. If it is something that I cannot really help you with, I would reach out to someone who has more experience than I do, and then I'll get back to you. All right. So I really appreciate you, hitting me in the comment section down below. So, okay. Like I said, someone said both. Yeah, I agree. Both, it's very important. We both need to invest. We need to invest in both these sectors. It's very, very important, right? But the problem, though, with mining is that it's more beneficial to outside forces than it is to our own people. I'll tell you the kind of mafia that is happening in the Congolese government, right? Because you will tell me, oh, these multinationals, they just come and they sign contracts with the Congolese government and they do their business. Yes, that is true. But one thing that you are missing is that a lot of these politicians, they go have closed door meetings with these global elites that are like this big multinational corporations, right? Behind closed doors, like in time of elections like this, right? These people are having meetings that you and I are never going to know about. And the contents, these are just speculations, but because they don't go in there with body cameras, so it's really hard for us to tell exactly what they talk about. But one of these days, excuse me, the truth will come to light and we'll all know about it, right? So these are just speculations. So basically, they go into these meetings, they have a conversation and be like, hey, we have the tools, we have the way to financially support your campaigns. We could do everything to contribute to make sure we get you in power. But in return, this is how we want you to enact your mining laws. So those mining laws were not designed to benefit local Congolese or local Africans who are more interested in doing business in mining sector. So let me ask you one question. Name at least 5 top African mining companies, or let's just 5 top African multinational corporations who are doing mining activities, whether it is in Congo or any of the neighboring African countries that that is known and that is like very, very prominent. So if you know of anyone, just let me know in the comment section down below because I don't know. But I do know that there are Congolese politicians who are opportunists who owns mining sites and they just make money and profit off of it without contributing to ending the war that have been going on in Congo, which tells you that including the Congolese politicians who are pretty much complicit with these outside forces, they do not care about the peace because that's how they make money the best. Because when there is instability in the eastern region, it makes it more so impossible to regulate the sector so that these, multinational corporations get to pay taxes properly to the Congolese government. Believe it or not, these people do not care about human rights whatsoever. They do not care about human rights. As long as the people that are dying are not their people, they don't care. One example, like when a war broke out in Ukraine, you saw how it shook the world. The whole world was shook. And it's still shaking up until now. Up until now, right? People are still, like America, for instance, as well as their allies, they're sending funding, they're sending money to Ukraine to fight against the Russians, right? You know why? Because those people look exactly like them. Because the people that are dying in the eastern of Congo don't look anything like them, they don't even get to talk about human rights like that. They do not even get to condone the country that are creating that instability. We know it's Rwanda. Uganda also has something to do with it. Burundi at one point was involved, but they're not as involved as Rwanda and Uganda. But the ICC or America, because they support this military campaign orchestrated against Congo, that's why this country still like walks scot-free. But unfortunately, a lot of these African leaders have not learned anything throughout history of all the dictators that have created instability, that have persecuted their own people. They always end up in international criminal court, which was, by the way, designed to judge African leaders, because we've never seen like any of the European nations, like regardless of all the bad things they've done throughout the war, none of them ended up there. It's always like it's weaponized against African leaders. And these African leaders have not learned anything about it. No matter how many times the history has repeated itself. Now look at what happened in Gabon. The Gabonese government was just overthrown by their military through a military innovation. Like the military took over the country. And guess what happened to the Bongo's family? All of the belongings that they've ever owned, and whether it was in Europe or anywhere else, it's been frozen. You know why? What they say, oh, it's deemed, it was not obtained legally. But at the same time, the same people who are freezing their assets are the same people who wanted them to be in the power, because it made it easier for them to access the resources as long as they were in power. So now that they do not have control over the country like that anymore due to the military coup that took place, now they have to freeze as much assets worth of billions of dollars maybe, so that they can have something back, because they're not sure how are they going to make it happen again. Look at what happened in Burkina Faso, or look what happened in Mali, and look what happened in some other places in Africa, where they were chanting the departure of the French occupation, right? They wanted France to leave. Now France is exiting Burkina Faso, right? I think they've already exited anyway. But United States of America remained there. You know why? Because they negotiated with them. They said, listen, we are going to be the sovereign people. We want our country to be equal as yours. We want our cooperation to be fair and mutual and based on mutual respect. America understood that, but France wanted to have their hands gripped onto Burkina Faso. Guess what happened? They kicked them out. They do not have control over that anymore. And guess what they did? They signed a contract with a Russian government. They're going to be building nuclear plants to electrify the country. So that tells you that there are true partners out there that can work with African countries. It's just a matter of trust. I find it very ironic that a lot of African nations, they're still in business with the same country that are oppressive towards us, who do not want our development, and yet our African leaders, they still continue to go back to the same people that are oppressing us. I do not understand that logic. But you know what that is? It's because of this. These people still control the money. The way the money system works around the world, all controlled by the people who are doing these things to us. That's why they feel so entitled that they can go anywhere, they can do whatever they want to do. They determine who's wrong, who's right, regardless of what you're doing. Congo, for instance, we have been victim of so many military assaults coming from Rwanda, Uganda, to the point where we had the Rwandan and Ugandan military fighting over certain, resources, sites inside of Congo, which was documented, and eventually the International Criminal Court ordered Uganda to pay reparations to the Congolese government, which they did. Maybe they're still making payments, but there was a certain amount that was determined. They have like this sanction system to impose on countries that are not conforming themselves into the rule of laws. But for some reason, it only applies to countries that they hate. But do you know why they do not enforce that as much as they did, for instance, to Russia or other countries out there? It's because they're also benefiting from the instability. You think about Apple Store. You think about Apple, you think about Android, you think about all of the electronic companies that you know that exist in this world. They draw their resources from over there. Like at least a good chunk of it come from over there. With the sector being unregulated, it benefits them because they do not get to pay taxes properly. And that's even one of the reasons why like a lot of the industries are being shipped abroad for cheap labor, right? And these people are continuing to do that because it benefits them most. Instead of us waking up and diversifying our economy into addressing issues in different sectors, we are stuck into one thing, the very one thing that is making us miserable, that is killing millions of Congolese. Like at this point, we've passed the genocide. There is not even a good term to the atrocities that are happening in the eastern of Congo. These things have started a very long time ago, and it's still taking place because we do not have anybody to stand up and speak out. Because we do not have anybody to stand out to speak out for us, we are left with no choice. I'll bet you, we captured so many Rwandan military personnel in Congo operating under the IDF or the RDF uniforms. But that's still not enough evidence. We've seen videos where people are getting their throat cut off. People are getting basically chopped alive, even buried alive. Videos went viral, but nobody did anything about it. Why? Because they turned like blind eye. This is the injustice that this world goes through. But let's get back to the topic though. We need both. But to what extent? Should we neglect the agricultural sector the way we do? Or should the Congolese government invest money into the agriculture sector to make Congo the number one exporter of agricultural products throughout the continent of Africa or even throughout the world? I believe the Congo has that capacity based on the amount of arable lands that we have available and the things that we can do with it. But we just choose not to do anything with it because of the lunatics that are leading our government. Unfortunately, we have to deal with these people for God knows how long, right? So that's why I took a stand personally. I got into agriculture, I got into doing farming, and I may have paused for quite a bit due to issues that happened, the things that took place, but that was just a step back for me to just prepare myself better and then just go in there and start doing much better things. The great advantage that I have, I've already built a pig barn that is there, and soon enough we will bring the animals back. You guys remember the reason I had to sell all the animals? It was because I wasn't trying to like lose every dime that I put into it. I was trying to get as much back as I possibly could, which I did, but it wasn't damn near enough compared to what I had originally spent, right? But that's still not, does not discourage me, because the reality of doing business is that you have to be aware of the risks that are involved. Being mindful and cognizant of these risks. That's why when that happened and the loss that I took, it did not bother me as much, because I know it was due to an unfortunate event that took place, which was unexpected. Now things went back to normal. Of course, I am going to be going back and doing exactly just that. The reason some of you are tuning in to watch this live stream is because the videos that I promote, the videos that I put out there, it have interest to you guys enough to continue to come back to watch my videos and see what I have to say about that. Some of you have even started because after watching my videos, right? And now I even have people that I still, you know, I'm still in touch with. We, communicate through WhatsApp, or, call each other, discuss business, discuss about, doing business in Congo and things like that. It's because of the things that I have to say and the bold move that I've made. I try at least to travel back and forth to Congo as many times as I could possibly do while I'm here in the US, but sometimes it could be very difficult, especially when you have a 9-to-5 job. I have to depend on my income to finance the projects that I got going on in Congo. And certain points I have to work 2 jobs so I can save enough money and just go finance my projects. Because we do not have any bank in Congo that give out loans to like local farmers to do business like that. We don't have that luxury. Here in America, you have that, but like how much a land is going to cost you if you're going to go get a loan? How much time is going to take you to pay it back? Because I do not want to be living as if I got a noose around my neck all the time, that I feel the need to wake up every morning and doing, this and that, like not even barely having enough vacation time for myself, for my mental health, just for my body, to make sure that I do, because that's why people are lazy. They do not have enough time given what they owe, what they have to do financially to either pay their debts. They're losing sleep over that because they're going to lose their homes, they're going to lose their car. People are insanely running around here just to serve these banks, right? And sometimes I think it's a good thing that we do not have those banking, the type of like loan systems in Congo or in a majority of African nations, because these systems can benefit you in one way and it can hurt you in another way too. You just gotta outweigh why you do in terms of investing. I wouldn't really recommend borrowing money if you're starting an investment in any African country, because you do not know what to expect yet. I at least encourage people to take a trip out there for quite some times, like learn and kind of study the market, understand. If you feel comfortable, then you can go ahead and make a move. If you've never done any of those and you just go ahead all excited, oh my God, I'm going to go to the bank and borrow money and go start an investment in Africa, you may end up disappointed, because you do not know the people you're going to be working with. You do not know their state of mind. You do not know what they stand for. You do not even know whether they're going to support your ideas or not, because keep in mind, a lot of our African brothers and sisters in the continent Unfortunately, when they see us come from the West, they think you got all your pockets filled all the way up. That's what they think of us. But some of us don't even go down there like that. So someone like me, if I'm flying to Congo because I have another things on my mind, you know, whether it is building a new structure within my farm or building a home or for later be used as our Airbnb. I mean, I'm going to have a certain budget that I'll be working with. It's not like I'm going to go there and start blowing the money. I still got to keep in mind that I have a mission, that I have something that I need to do that will benefit me first. They don't understand that. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I was talking to a guy who basically told me, dude, I've done business with family members, I've done business with friends, but then I was so disappointed in the way that they treated me, in the way that they did business with me, and how like much they took advantage of me, that sometimes when I fly to Congo, I don't even inform anyone. I'll just go there, do what I gotta do, and come back. If I run into a family member, usually I'll tell them, listen, I was only here for a short period of time. It was on behalf of my job, and I'm actually going back yet tomorrow. So I wasn't planning on seeing family members. Like it comes up with like lies like that, because people have seen so much of those that they're so disappointed. Some of them don't even want to go back anymore. But I understand the reason behind it. But like one thing that I'm gonna tell you though is that doing business in Africa will make you a lot of money if you understand the game and if you bring the fund enough to make enough for you to to undertake whatever it is that you have in mind. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, Congo needs more of diasporans to go back and assist the local to do the things that they are unable to do on their own. Inspire them. Be on their shoes. Agriculture is the most neglected sector in Congo. But there are other countries, they only depend on agriculture. In today's world, with everything that's happening around the world, you need nothing by growing crops, growing food, to just be self-sufficient. Self-sufficiency is something that you will need with the threat of World War III, with the threat of regional wars potentially breaking out in the Middle East really soon, with the Israel war going on. Imagine when all hell breaks loose and you do not even know how to grow your own crops. You don't even know how to water your plants. But how are you going to survive? There was a reason we moved from the hunter gatherers society into like the feudalism and agricultural society and industrialization. Now it's continued to evolve. There is a reason the civilization is built upon eras. So like we're going towards a time where we don't even know what's our next move. But we also have to acknowledge that agriculture is one of the few things like throughout history that's ever going to be around us forever. That's never going away. Whether it is just traditional way of farming, whether it is a modern way of farming, that's not going anywhere. That is going to stay here, because a lot of these global elites, like a lot of these powerful countries they're fighting over territories, because believe it or not, energy makes the world go around. That's why there is always war in the Middle East. There is always war in Africa. There's always war in multiple parts of the world. And I guarantee you, wherever there is a war, there is natural resources, whether it is oil, because if it wasn't for oil, all of these industries that we see in America or in Canada or in France, we're never going to exist because they need oil to power all of these machines. You need oil. And yes, they're talking about moving green or like, electric or everything green, everything green. It's not going to happen overnight. The energy system that's making that's running, that's making the world run and go around, it's going to be here no matter what. It's still going to be here. Whether it is they're trying to revolutionize electric vehicle with cobalt and with all this electronic gadgets that we have luxury to have in our fingertips, right? You need coltan and many more. You need uranium for to build, nuclear power points to electrify country, whether it is to build a weapon of mass destruction, to protect the integrity of your country, of your territory, all of these things. Africa is so rich in a certain way that unimaginable. But unfortunately, we're not the number one beneficiary of these natural resources because we have multinationals that are coming from foreign nations and imposing their will on governments. Well, even though it may not seem very obvious, but believe it or not, like I said earlier, that when they go through these behind closed doors meetings, the things that they talk about is more so along the lines where, okay, we will, finance your campaign, we will do everything to get you in power, because they have that kind of influence. But in return, when you get in there, all you got to do, make sure you cooperate with your Senate and get them to enact laws, mining laws that will make it easier for us to extract as much product as possible. In return, we will keep you secure, we will keep you safe, we will guarantee your security, we will make sure that nobody messes with you. It's all about the money. But for some reason, our government, because they are so greedy, they just care about their own family and their well-being because they want to build generational wealth for generations and generation. They do not care about what the population has to say. It is greedy. That's why you don't listen to the politician. That's why you don't sit around and wait till the politician, like establish laws that will benefit you. It will never benefit you, ever, like ever. When politicians engage themselves into financial scandals, financial schemes, they use a different term to identify the theft. But when a low-life street burglar or I don't know, snatch someone's purses, oh, you're a thief, you're going away for a very long time. But somebody who steals billions of dollars from the population, from the the public treasury, oh, they get called different names because they were in a suit. They're giving them the least sentence possible to bring them right back onto the political scene. How fair is that? So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that both it's important for Congo or any African nation, but in this case, particularly Congo, we need both sectors. But it is the politicians' duty to monopolize and to nationalize our mining industries. It is time for us to start building refineries to finally have these, plants in the country so that we don't end up buying the same products from them when they just, bring us the finished products. So we are able to produce the same materials at home and also export it somewhere else and sell it to other places out, around the world too. I believe we're capable in doing that, except the government is probably not going to do it because the deals they sign and the fear that they have, if they try and do something like that, they're either going to end up assassinated or they're going to just carry out a campaign against their presidency to remove them from power and put somebody who's going to you know, bow in front of them and lick the balls and shit. Unfortunately, that's kind of like what's going on. So agriculture is the way to go. So if you're ever considering, getting into agriculture, you shouldn't really hesitate. Go get it. Buy a piece of land. There are so many empty spaces that you are going to find a place to farm. You're always going to find an empty land somewhere in Congo. You're always going to find places to do businesses in Africa. As a matter of fact, before I came back here in the US, when I went to Congo around May, I was, guys, do me a favor, hit the like button if you joined the chat a little late. Please do me a favor, hit the like button. It's more of you watching. There is only 2 people that have hit the like button. Do me a favor, hit the like button, and I really appreciate it. That's just for the YouTube algorithm, so thank you very much. I was saying that one thing that I noticed when I was in Congo in around May, right? I went to just see the available commercial places to leave for some activities. There were none available. So there is a crisis happening. People are willing to open businesses, but except they do not have spots. Not because there isn't room, but because people aren't building enough. So I'm calling all of you who are interested in real estate, whether it is commercial real estates or residential real estates, get into it. Do it. There is a high demand. I got friends who hustle. They're looking for a commercial a place to rent, but they can't find anything. It's an issue that's happening throughout the town, like throughout the city. And I was a witness of it because I went and did the exact same thing. We couldn't find anything. At least for my brother who's trying to like start a small bar, so he can have a little activity going on for himself. We weren't able to find anything. I mean, eventually he will, but it's going to take some time. You know why? Because there aren't that many of them available out there like that. So if you ever interested in real estate, do not hesitate because the market is out there. It's something that I'm more interested in, but you do things one at a time. I'm working on my farming. I'm working on, bringing animals back into my my farm. I'm working on planting more stuff. I'm working on building starting the poultry farming. After this whole, unnecessary conflict that took place. So I don't have the money to spend here on my farm and start building somewhere else. Yes, I'll be building really soon because I announced that on my channel, but I'm not ready yet. I might just start working on the enclosure very shortly, but foundation and elevation and so forth, that's going to be like a 2024, maybe mid-June or something like that, until I'm like financially, comfortable to do that. Now I got to focus on my farm first because I've spent money on it already, and the fact that the pig barn is sitting like that with no animal in there is driving me crazy every night. So guys, let me know in the comment section what you think. What do you think about this live stream? Is Congo better off combining both investing both in mining and agriculture? Should the Congo prioritize agriculture more because no matter the investment that we've made into mining never took us anywhere? Or should we invest more money into mining and maybe regulate the sector more so it benefits the Congolese more? Let me know what you think about it, because I'm really, really curious to learn and find out what you have to say about that. Because at the end of the day, we're the Congolese who are the ones who are losing from this one, and we're the only loser. And the politicians, they don't care. They're not business people. And the funniest things, a lot of these politicians, like I said earlier, some of them own like mining sites. Some of them own even mining enterprises and stuff like that. whether it is legal or illegal, but somehow they manage to do that. But they do little to contribute to the peace. They do little to advocate for the peace. They just thirst to bring money into their pockets. They're just thirst to build their own personal empire. So, which means whatever it is that you guys doing, whether it is going back to farm or buying your land so you can start your agriculture, it's going to be solo. You're all going to be the number one beneficiary, which means you have to go out of your way to do what's best for you. Don't worry about what the government has to say or has to do or is planning to do, because the government will all continue to make promises that they're not going to be able to honor. They're not going to be able to honor or even make happen. We see here in America how many times politicians conduct their campaigns and they say one thing. The moment you elect them, they say the opposite. They say totally something different. It's not only African politicians who do these kind of things. It happened here too. All right, guys. So I've been talking for almost the past hour now. It has been my pleasure to joining you, to having a chat with you. Thank you guys again for tuning in always. That really, really means a lot. It goes straight to my heart. Really, really means a lot. I mean it. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel and share the live stream with a friend that you think they might be interested in either starting a business in Congo or subscribing to my channel so we can talk more about these issues. And again, I can't make any more promises when it comes down to releasing videos and things like that. But I got videos, at least 3 videos that I've been working on. But I got to be honest with you. I have not been as productive on YouTube as I should have been, just because number one, I'm working 2 jobs, and number 2, I'm taking college classes because I'm working on getting my associate degree, and it's just draining the hell out of me. So be patient with me. I'll try the best that I can to put those videos out there. Just keep an eye out on those videos, and make sure to keep those alerts turned on. So when I release those videos, you get the notification. And yeah, at the same time, I will be keeping you updated on the status of the farm moving forward. And again, I'm curious to learn to hear from you in the comment section what you thought about this topic. Until the next video, I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Have a wonderful Sunday. I'll see you next time.